morning to you. So what time is it? What time is it
It
in
is
your country?
11:35.
Okay,
It's
11:35.
11:35 now.
Okay, 11:35 in Sri Lanka, and it is
And
7:06 in Nigeria. So
yeah,
so good
so
morning.
did you have good sleep?
Yeah, good morning and welcome to Steam TV. So how is Sri Lanka this morning?
Oh, it's like very sunny today, and these days it's very sunny because the sun is like directly come in part our country. So very sunny.
I noticed that before now there used to be a lot of users from Sri Lanka. Of course, there are still some users in Sri Lanka, which I know, very hardworking users, like Disconnected Rats. Disconnected Rat is a very hardworking person. Yep, I know about that. And I mean, there are still some good hardworking users in the platform. So today, the world of crypto is growing gradually. Will you say that is actually affecting your country as well in terms of economy?
Yeah, exactly. Currently we have a kind of crisis now. So the people who has had crypto already has some kind of survivor here during this crisis. So I'm not sure whether our government will welcome or like accept crypto in a legal way, but is it not illegal too here? So people who has crypto are maintaining their economy, they survive under this crisis. So I think it will crises can be happen in every country, any country. So I think having crypto is a very uh, good investment if you are really considering about future issues.
Thank you.
We really feel it.
Okay, because in Nigeria, there was a time it was declared illegal, and I believe
Uh-huh.
why that happened was because the leaders were a little bit jealous of the youths, because youths who are doing crypto seems to be more successful than some of the people who have been hustling for money for a very long time, even before most of these youths were given birth to. So think about a young man or a young woman who just got into a crypto, and just today, next week, he just become a big person because he is actually doing crypto. So the government actually banned it in Nigeria a long time ago, but as time goes on, they were not too rigid about it again. Um, and the truth is that most guys that are actually doing things in the country today, most guys that are doing many big things in the country today are people who are into crypto. So that is why I was asking that question, if it is the same with your own country. What is
Exactly, it is
Yeah.
same.
So what is your countrymen's source of income? Like,
This majority is known, it said this tourism. That's why we got this crisis also, because for last few years that COVID came, so no tourists came, so the economy fell down. I think it is the major contribution to economy, and also mostly tea and rubber. They export tea. Sri Lanka is among the top tea exporter to foreign countries. So tea is the other major source of our income.
okay,
Mostly tourism.
okay, the tourism. Okay. So a few months ago, you people were experiencing some crisis. You people were experiencing some crisis few months ago. Uh, I'm not political though, and I don't want to go into it. But I just want to know how the situation was during that time and how the situation is now. I I don't want to say it bluntly, but I learned something happened in Sri Lanka that caused a lot of protests. It caused a lot of protest. It was all over the news. It was all over the news. Even we here in Nigeria, we always see it on the news, the TV, newspaper. In fact, some Nigerian youths were hailing the Sri Lankans because they were like, if these people can do this to chase the current person that is ruling the country, that means we can also do it as well. So, in a sense, they were trying to take that as a kind of role model. But I don't want to go into that. As I said, I'm not political. All right. So as not to offend anybody. All right. But I just want to know, how was the situation back then? How was the situation back then? How were you people? How were you able to cope during that time that everybody was running helter skelter in the country?
So usually this situation started when the former president he stopped importing fertilizers from foreign countries. So the farmers couldn't grow anything without better fertilizer. So the food shortage started, and also same time our like dollar countries like the dollar capacity shrinked. So we had no dollars, so we couldn't export anything that we need, even fuel, gas, and nothing. So what happened? There was shortage, long queues all over the country just for gas, fuel, and also for food, like rice and all. So you believe my parents spent 4 days in front of the filling station just to take 3 liters of petrol. Right? That people stressed because of this situation. It's really painful. And also with no diesel, no electricity, couldn't produce electricity. So power cuts for 13 hours per day. So you believe how a student learn, or how we work, and you don't have 13 hours power cut per day. So these things stressed up people, and people started protesting continuously to kick out the existing leaders. So actually, the main reason was that bad decision of politicians and also the corruption. There's a lot of money they waste on their benefits, like their expenses. They had fuel, they had electricity, they had everything, but people didn't. So this pressure exploded, and people started to protest. So one day, I think July 13th, so like 10 million of people came to Colombo, the capital city, and completely kick out the former president. So I think that's the one thing that every media reported on that day around the world. So, but still, the president came after that was worst actually. That's pathetic. So even now the situation is good, but it is not good actually. We get electricity, we have fuel, we have gas also, but prices are too high. So still that government expenses are same as the past, so they expense a lot, but they take taxes from us. So everyone pays huge amount of for goods, huge amount of tax also, both direct taxes and indirect taxes, to feed that politicians and their families and the army also. So still in the current situation, people, the living cost is too high. I mean, I'm not sure how poor people like eat actually. So people eat like luckily we have natural food. They can grow on their gardens and cover their meals, but still even today people are struggling a lot. That's very painful.
Very painful, actually.
It's like Sanders. Yeah.
It's very painful actually. I am just trying to imagine. I am just trying to imagine how the situation is. I'm actually trying to imagine how that situation is or worse, because I could remember back then, Sri Lanka was making a whole lot of headlines everywhere in the world. They were making a lot of headlines everywhere, everywhere in the world. So, but you said the situation has reduced now, apart from the fact that you guys are paying high tax. Let me put it that way. You guys are paying high tax now, but everything has been made available, isn't it, in your country? Okay.
Yeah, kind of, but I don't see they have a like they have a sustainable plan. I am just seeing that they are taking more loans and filling these needs, and once the when they are going to start paying loans back, we will put back to the same old stage. That's what I am seeing. Because currently Sri Lanka is not paying any debt to anyone, and because the debt payments are hot.
Okay.
So once they start to pay these loans back, I think our economy will be crashed again. Until we are not paying loans, this situation will be like this, control. So that's the political drama. So yes.
So okay, so in for instance in Nigeria, so many people believe that they cannot actually make it here in the country. So if they must make it, they have to travel. They have to travel outside the country. They have to travel outside the country to work. Right? They have to travel outside the country to work, so that they can take care of their family, and themselves as well. So is it the same thing with Sri Lanka? Does people
Exactly.
also believe that if they travel out of the country, that
Yes.
that's just where they can always make it?
Yeah, people are migrating, highly migrating. Now for taking passports, there are long queues just to take passports, trade passports.
Wow,
So
wow.
majority of educated people that who has degrees, who has that working capability, who has skills, they are migrating to outside countries to forever. I mean, not to come back, to forever.
So, okay. So let me ask this. Will you say the cost of most of this traveling? Will you say the cost of most of this traveling is because of uh, their present country's situation? Like, let me use Sri Lanka for example. I've actually mentioned that in Nigeria, most people travel because of the present country's economy or situation. So, will you say it is the same thing in Sri Lanka? Is it because of the condition in Sri Lanka that is making people to travel, so that they feel if they get to that side of the world, they will have a better life? Or is it that they just feel like
Yes.
traveling? Because I've met a lot of people who just feel like traveling for fun, just for fun.
No, no, no. They go out because of the situation of this country. Because
Okay.
there's no future for a child here. Actually, that's really painful. No? So everyone wants to give their children a better future. So
Okay.
this
Okay.
even government education system, like they focus on education, is also gone for during last few years. So why people stay here?
Okay. Okay, I get it. So that means we are sharing almost the same thing in Nigeria. So,
Yeah.
like I told you before, I wouldn't know if I've told you this. Now, in Nigeria, if you are a graduate in Nigeria, you need to have someone. Like, it's not all about your degree. Like, it's not all about what you graduated with, if you graduated with upper or lower or whatever. It's not all about that. But in Nigeria, if you have someone at the top, someone at the top, at this political, is at the top government official, then you have one way to employment. And that's why you see a lot of Nigerians, a lot of young Nigerians who have graduated for a very long time ago, they don't have a job. Why? Because they don't have anybody at the top. So we see the system is somehow corrupt. I wouldn't know, is it the same thing in Sri Lanka?
It is not that much, but in some industries it's like that. There are some other industries that people have the correct pace for their knowledge, but especially most of the government jobs, we have like something called government service and other thing called private service. So government services are conducted by the government. So government pay the salary, government then give the retirement money after they retire. So in these government jobs, this thing is applicable. Like let's say it's not too much, but this for some positions this is right. We have the same problem.
Okay. So it's
But private jobs, it's not.
okay. Private jobs is not like that.
Yes.
Okay. Who knows if I will likely come to Sri Lanka one day to come and look for a job. Okay.
Yeah, probably now you are telecommunication, right?
Okay.
Some jobs are really.
Okay. So because in Nigeria sometimes or somehow it is not all that easy to get a job. It's not all that easy to get a job. So, and is your weather condition harsh? Is your weather condition harsh? In Sri Lanka?
You mean
the weather?
Yeah, weather, yes. So it's a tropical country, so we have both rain, and sunny days. It's a mix. So now it's going to rain after a long morning of sun. So it's mixed weather, and it's not bad actually. So
wow. So it seems Sri Lanka. It seems Sri Lanka is almost sharing the same features with Nigeria, because we are also experiencing that. In fact, as I'm talking to you now, coincidentally, the weather is so cloudy and it's about to rain. Maybe a few minutes from now, it's going to pour. I'm not outside. If I was outside, I would have showed you, but I am inside. I'm inside my room, having this conversation. So that is it. Wow. Let's say someone wants to come to your country now. The person doesn't even have any knowledge about your country, doesn't have no knowledge about your country. Where will you advise the person to lodge, and why will you tell the person to lodge in that place? The person is coming for tourism.
yeah. So I think there are a lot of places now. Before comparing to the time period before the crisis, I mean before the peak of the crisis, current situation is very good because we have 24 hours power now. So I saw so many tourists are coming back these days, especially places like Sigiriya and also Golf Fort and even for surfing. So Matha district, they are coming to surfing. So there are a lot of various things people can do. We have sea, we have nature, we have wildlife, and they can take safaris. We have elephants too, and if they want, we have a separate dry zone. People who want have that experience. There are plenty of experiences inside this small island, and also it is less expensive for a person who earn dollars. So even though it is very expensive for us, for a person who earn from dollars, it's very less amount, so they can have a good experience here. They come.
Wow. Wow. Okay, so but will you say because now you guys no longer have crisis. You guys no longer have crisis. So will you say now is a good time for somebody to visit if one wishes to visit now?
Exactly. This is a good time to visit.
Don't you think if any visitor should come by this time, if a visitor should come now, don't you think they would charge him higher than if it was not in this season?
I don't think there are. I can't guarantee because there are some people who do so, but a majority of people are very welcoming and they don't like cheat from tourists actually. So recently I saw some videos on YouTube that people are like some people are not taking money even from the foreigners for several things. So there are very uh, good kind of people. Like 80% of people are very good, and that tourists should be aware to not to fall in the trap of rest of 20% of people. Majority is not like that. They are very fair and they don't take more money from tourists than
Okay.
normal.
Okay, that's much better. That's much better because because after this, a lot of people might actually want to. A lot of people might actually want to visit there because you know you've just highlighted that your country is a tourist center. It's a tourist country, so most people might want to visit there. So it would be great for them to know if it is safe for them now. And I believe through this little talk we have, it can be a kind of eye opener to people because they will actually want to test that. I'm very happy for the little time that we have had to talk, to communicate. I'm very happy for this time you've given me for us to talk. I wouldn't want to take much of your time because I don't know what time is it over there. And today is Sunday over here. Today is Sunday over here, and I will be I will be going for service a few hours from now. I'll be going for service a few hours from now for worship. Okay. Are you a Buddhist or are you a Muslim?
Yeah, Buddhist.
Okay,
I'm
Buddhist.
Buddhist.
Okay,
You?
okay, Buddhist. Can you say about Steam TV?
Yeah. So it's a good initiative. I think from a long time we didn't see this kind of initiative from anyone, like having interviews, talking to people, and it's great when people can like sometimes people are going out of our memories. Some people are going out of our memory with the time, but steamit TV they recall these stories. Some people can take some kind of motives from them and it's motivational, and also like for a newcomer they can take much of things, and also that people get chance to express opinions face to face. That is also very good. So I think you should keep this book up.
Thank you very
Thank you
much.
for that.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that. I really appreciate the fact that you've given this little time to Steam TV. All right, Randula, thank you very much. I have to go now, and I have to let you go now.
See you then. Thank you for the opportunity. Okay.
Thank you
See
very.
you.
Thank you. Bye bye.